term 3, I decided to join Reading Buddies. Reading Buddies is when you go down to the primary school and you talk to the teachers, obviously, first of all, and then you talk to the kids and you take a couple of kids, 1 or 2, with you, and they will read to you or you will read to them depending on what they'd like to focus on, and then it's just them and interacting with the kids pretty much. For this activity, we're helping the community of the school and the students, because with us reading to the students, we're teaching them how to properly say the words and how to listen to people, and just we're giving them new vocabulary reading these books to them, as well as when they're reading it to us, we are there to help them. So if they do like mess up a word or something, they can always look to us and we'll teach them new vocabulary. So we're kind of there for entertainment, but slowly they're actually learning new words, new vocabulary, and just a whole wide range of different. For this, I'm obviously the adult of the job kind of thing, and I'm there to help the kids read or listen to the kid read to me and make sure that they're getting the words right and that they're pronouncing everything correctly, and if they're not, to just help them out easily, nicely, without being mean, just teaching them. It's almost being like a teacher. We have the role of being the mature one who's kind of teaching them new stuff. Well, we went down thinking we were going to be reading to kids, kind of reading and teaching them at the same time, but it ended up changing and it ended up the kids reading to us. We still got to teach them though, so that role was still there, because obviously if they didn't know how to pronounce a word or they didn't understand a word, they'd ask us. But at the same time, like, we expected ourselves to have to be reading it, the book, to them, while it wasn't that, it was the kids reading to us. That was probably the only difference, and also the fact of that we'd have like multiple kids with us at times, when we only really get one kid at a time since they're reading to us. So that was a bit of a change, but it's still pretty much with the same thing. So there wasn't much changes in this activity, but overall it was still pretty good. A few minor changes, but nothing major. I feel like things turned out really well, seeing as the kids are practicing more of what they need when they're reading to us, while if we were reading to them, they could kind of zone out if they wanted to, but with them reading to us, they really have to use their words and their grammar and how to sound out a word, and then they have to really think, oh, do I know what this word means? And if they don't, then they have to be an inquirer and ask us. So overall, I think that it turned out really well, seeing as it's actually kind of brought the kids more to life, and we also get to interact with kids that are young, and we feel really good about it because we're teaching a community how to be better when they grow up, knowing that they'll still be able to use this type of stuff in spelling tests when they're older or grammar, and just be really good at reading when they're older as well. Obviously, this is community and service as an AOY, but for the PYP, MYP, learner profile words, I've said that it fit into caring, inquirers, and reflective, because, well, the one that really works for us is caring, because obviously we're working with little kids and we're really caring for them and we're working to make them better people, as well as, well, for inquire and reflective, I'd say that it's more the kids that are doing those, seeing as the kids have to ask us if they don't understand something or they don't know how to pronounce something, as well as the kids have to think back, oh, I learned this word, I just forgot how to say it. So they have to, like, be reflective, think back to when they did use it, and all that type of stuff. Like, obviously we're being reflective too, because we're thinking back to how to pronounce it, but we're a bit better at that seeing as we've been using it longer, so that's not so much for us. But I think I've grown as a person, and I think that I've learned how to be more interactive with children more now. Because before I was good with children, I didn't throw them against the wall or anything, but now I know how to talk to them, listen to them, and answer their questions in a way that they'll act well with us. Next year, I think I'd go for something like Hammett Hospital or the animal shelter, just because I like to see the change that I'm making. And with Hammett Hospital, obviously you can see how happy the patients are going to be, and like just the difference that you're really making on them, And with animal shelter, well, that's more because I just adore animals to bits and pieces, and I've never done it before, and it's one of the ones that I've actually really wanted to do. But I wouldn't mind helping out with the Uraver school, and just like in finding a way to incorporate with that, or something to do with the orphanage if we get that type of thing. Workers' appreciation would be good as well, seeing as that you can see the difference you're making and how happy you're making other people, which is really a big thing for me.